Thursday drivers press conference coming from Sepang in Malaysia, and joining us today, Fernando Alonso from Red Bull, Felipe Nasr of Sauber, Kimi Raikkonen from Ferrari, Nico Rosberg from Mercedes, and Carlos Sainz from Toro Rosso. Fernando, if we can start with you, this has been a happy hunting ground for you throughout your career. You got your first pole here, you've won with 3 different manufacturers, so a good place, I imagine, to come back from what's obviously been a difficult episode.
Well, happy to be here in another Formula One season, and I start one race late. But yeah, unfortunately, I had the accident in Barcelona, and following, I missed the first race. But yeah, happy to. Malaysia has been always a very nice circuit. Formula One career. My first pole position was here in 2003, my first podium, and then, as you said, 3 wins with 3 different teams give me the possibility always to enjoy this circuit, and to repeat such a result, but on the cockpit. And
You've done around 500 kilometers ahead, and the challenge now to hit the targets that the team has set.
Be, with the feet on the ground, knowing that we are not in a position that we wanted, and not in a position that we will be hopefully very soon. It will be like a test session for me, the first races. As you said, I did on this car more or less the same number of laps that another guy. I'm not probably confident with the car in this moment, and I will need to learn many things, on not only on the driving style, also on the approach.
You had some problems in Malaysia towards the end of the race, but the pace all weekend was good, and you were be a good in-house battle between the two of you.
Say even end of last year, so in that way it's a nice place to be, but obviously we still have to improve quite a bit. Exactly, at least in qualifying, to be there. In the race, I think we are a bit stronger. It'll be a fun year. Obviously, not the ideal start of the year, but we got some damage on the start, and then had those issues on a pit stop. We have a pretty good speed, so. Sure, we're gonna have a strong races and a good battles, but like I said, we still have a gonna be, but we've done a good job so far.
Can you tell us what it is about the chassis and the way it handles in particular that makes it a better race car for you personally?
I think this time that we improve. Yes, we improved that a lot, but we improved the chassis itself a lot also, and point one area that has been it's a one team, and things are going in the right direction, and people are pushing and doing a good work. But obviously, like I said, it's still early days, and we know that we.
Okay, thank you. Carlos, out the long pit stop, but I guess you dream of your Grand Prix debut, and then when it goes well like it did, is it a feeling of elation or relief, or
which I'm very happy with, and it obviously gives you a a big boost of motivation also to keep up the good work and keep improving, because I'm sure I still have a
Did all the attention that was on your teammate Max Verstappen help to take the pressure off you a bit, do you think, and allow you to perform better?
Well, this might be a bit what it looked like from the outside, but the pressure I put in myself and the amount of pressure STR and Red Bull are putting on us, and for sure I can tell you we have exactly the same amount of pressure. So to perform, we were pretty equal in that sense, and it was just a good weekend.
Okay, thank you for that. Felipe, coming to you, another rookie, very good result obviously in Australia with 5th place, which is the best debut result ever for a Brazilian in Formula One. What does that result, and that it must be very emotional for you even to hear that, and that performance, what does it mean to you and the team?
It was very, very unique weekend. My very first ever weekend in Formula One. Was not ideal the way it started, with all this trouble, going to court and everything else, missing first free practice, a track that I didn't know, so it was a very good outcome to came up 5th in my first. And it's important. It only shows the team was ready. Myself was ready to put the things on the side and being able to deliver on the race. So it was something very special.
Now in the race, you were able to keep Daniel Ricciardo and the Red. About this car, how excited are you by what's possible with this car this year?
Wow, I was a bit surprised actually to see that happening. I had the potential to do it, but to hold that Red Bull was unexpected. I think it could only show that the car has a good. So I think we need to take the profit on these early races to maximize our potential, and struggling out there to finish races. So we need to use that as an advantage for us.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Coming to you, Daniel, obviously a challenging first weekend, to say the least, for you and Red Bull. You qualified behind the Toro Rossos and didn't even manage to take the start. But what progress have you made?
Well, I think we can really find the answer only tomorrow. To overcome the difficulties that we are facing right now, but myself and the whole team, we are used to work really hard, and that's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna try strong positions again.
Well, last year, of course, you were in the points on your first visit to this Sepang circuit. What feature?
For the heat, for the here a few times. I enjoy driving it here. It's few fast speed sections, and you usually enjoy them quite a lot as a driver. So it's I'm looking forward to this weekend, and hopefully we will keep moving forward.
Okay, thank you for that, Nico. Doubled the advantage in terms of relative fastest laps across the weekend over your nearest rivals compared to the start of 2014. But do you
I think it's right to say that. Of course, qualifying pace was very strong, yes, but more important is the race pace, and especially from Kimi, we saw stint. So not. I think Ferrari especially, have definitely closed the gap and are closer than our nearest rival.
Circuit, do you expect the gap to be smaller?
It's very difficult to say. It's early days.
That you could follow Lewis, but it was hard to mount an attack. So presumably, to get the advantage this weekend to make sure that you start the race on the front foot.
Qualifying is definitely important, yeah, in this internal battle, especially since we have the same cars. But it's not everything, because we have seen in the past that even in races, by playing around with the tire order or things like that, it is still possible to overtake. And this weekend here, strategy there might be a bit more leeway in the strategy to try and.
Thanks for that. Right, let's throw it to the floor. Who has the first question, please? Give us your name and your publication. Yes.
Fernando, how long? Fernando, how long after the accident did you start to get memories of the accident back? What did you learn about it when you went car?
Well, everything was more or less as a normal concussion. So I had this concussion. Went to the hospital. There was I went to the hospital in good conditions. There is a time that I don't. Everything again was normal. And then, yeah, everything, as I said, it was normal. I didn't wake up in 95. I didn't wake up speaking in Italian. I didn't wake up in all these things that probably they were out there. And I remember the accident, and I remember everything that following day. Obviously, we've been very close working on that, and with FIA, that they were very close contact, all three parts constantly, and yeah, there is that we can spot, and we can say it was that the reason. But definitely we have an steering problem in the middle of turn 3 that right, and I approach the and yeah, unfortunately on the data we're still missing some parts. Probably the acquisition data. The car is not at the top, so there are some new sensors here in this race, and there are some changes that we do on the steering rack and other parts, and yeah, that was the main thing. So the last week and yeah, trying to explain me all these new sensors and all these new parts that will go into this race.
Respect or more fear to your job?
No, not really. You know, the end of is dangerous. We know that sometimes you have the car is completely destroyed and nothing happened, and sometimes you know you in a low speed corner or something, and depends on the angle, depends of how you hit or which part. Live a stream life and nothing happened, and sometimes you know you walk on the street and you have a issue. So yeah, no more respect than before. It's just you know, a very normal thing. Yeah, I understand also the recommendations from the doctor. Maybe too early, and yeah, we wait for one more race, and that obviously. But yeah, happy to be here. Happy to a little bit at the moment. The winter has been quite difficult, and the same. The first race, it was hard for me to watch on TV with. To give McLaren and Honda, all the experience that we can have, Jenson and me, and trying to recover from this form as soon as possible.
Okay, next question, please. Name and publication, please.
Motorsport. Fernando, you said the steering just locked. The steering is for a racing driver. I mean, if you still don't know why there was a problem with the steering sensors you have on the car?
Doing some checks, investigations, some possibilities, and as I said, there are some areas in the car that instrumentation-wise probably are not at the level to show this to see this problem. It's like I don't know, a problem that may occur in this race 20 years ago. Formula One didn't have that technology to spot that problem, and I'm sure that we will spot in. That's one reason, and I have zero doubts or zero concerns.
Okay, next one, please. Name and publication, please.
Daniel Johnson, the Daily Telegraph. Question for Fernando. So, given that you remember the accident, as far as you're concerned, that it wasn't a driver error, or as the team put it, a gust of wind blew you off course in any way?
No, definitely not. I don't know if you see the. Also, if you have any problem or any medical issue, normally you will lose and you will go straight to the outside. Car, you still need to apply some effort on the steering wheel, so that's one thing. Honestly, obviously with the accident, with the repercussion of the accident, the news being in Spain, a lot of attention on that day. My manager, whatever, all the staff around had in these first early days, it was just some guess. But that creates a little bit of confusion, obviously. But say nothing for 3 or 4 days. 3 or 4 days, then will become even worse. So I think they say the theory of the wind, etc. But obviously, it was not a help.
Okay. Next one, please. Name and publication, please.
David Croft, Sky Sports F1. Apologies. So, with everything that's happened over the winter, and to yourself personally and to the team, by the fans, and I'm sure many journalists in this room, is whether you've made the right decision going to McLaren or not, returning to McLaren. What was your reaction to that?
I have a challenge in front of me, clearly, but I think it's difficult, but it's going to taste better when we do it. I'm in the team that, I grew up watching TV Nation and Ayrton Senna on the. I understand, that we are now too far back, and receive that criticism because we are not at the level that we will be. But it's nothing we can do. Project, and I experienced some beautiful moments, even the last 5 years that with Ferrari we didn't win the championship, but it was a fantastic experience. But with 5 was enough. Second or third, so I prefer to risk and to challenge the victory, even if you need to take some risk for the first year.
Okay. Next question.
This is Ralf Bach from Sportbild Germany. A question to Fernando.
Thank you.
Coming back to the accident, can you remember one thing? If you lost consciousness before the first impact or not, and when? Why?
Yeah, no, I remember everything. Obviously, I don't go to every detail because it's gonna be long. But no, I remember everything. All the setup changes, all the lap times. I think Vettel that cut the chicane to let me go, exiting the pit lane. And after the heat, I was kissing the wall for a while, and then I switched off first because it was on, and then I switched off the master switch that we call just for the batteries to switch off the air. If not, they cannot touch the car. So yeah, I was perfectly conscious at that time.
Consciousness before the first impact?
No. I lost the conscious, I think, in the ambulance or in the clinic at the circuit. But yeah, the doctors said that this is normal because the medication that put you just for and the checks that they do in the hospital, the MRI and the evaluation.
Didn't touch the car?
This I don't know.
Okay, let's move on. Next one, please. Name and publication, please.
Yes. Two questions, one for Fernando, and the second question is for Fernando. What had you learned from accident about people, about you, about life? And the second question is in this. Is this with England and Germany, the country with more drivers in the grid? What's your opinion about?
Well, what I learned probably, I have so much support from so many people. You know, it has been amazing how many message people I receive. So many warm wishes from all the sport, government, everyone was so interested, and also in the Formula One paddock as well, because even from the flight on Tuesday that I arrived here until today has been a very nice experience. Of health for me, so that was something that I learned probably after the accident. Until you have a problem or you miss one or two races, that so many people are behind you and are supporting. It's nice to have. Yeah, hopefully we can see. For many years we had three. Pedro. Many more years because Carlos and Roberto, they are very young, and they have a good possibility and a good future. So I wish them they can stay very long. I'm not sure.
And Carlos, your view on that?
Yeah, for me it's obviously great. I've always had a good relationship with and yeah, I think the more Spanish, the better. And yeah.
Please.
To experienced drivers. So Nico and Kimi, do you ever worry about having accidents? Has there been a time in your career where you've maybe thought, I don't want to go out in your F1 career?
it's not. Yeah, of course, sometimes I think about it, and there is a certain element of fear. But that's, I think, natural and holds me back sometimes to go too far beyond the limit. You know, so. But.
Kimi?
A few accidents in the past, and last year one got a not so nice one, but it's part of the game, and you know, if you make a mistake, you pay a price, and it's up to you. You know, if you're not prepared to take, plenty of guys that are willing to jump in a car and race. So, you know, I think I mean, obviously it's part of the thing, but to get hurt on a normal track. So.
Okay, thank you. Let's move on to the next one, please. Name and publication, please.
Byron Young Mirror. Fernando, sorry, another question for you. The team set up two statements work together.
I think it's clear that there was a problem in the car, but on the data at the moment, and it's one of the things that I did also in the factory last week. Not only the simulator, go with all the engineers and all the data available, go through the moments, and there are some spots here and there, but there is not a clear answer. So I understand completely and support the team, you know, until they don't find a clear answer that it was this or that. Further, if they will find something anytime, I don't know, because if after 1 month we didn't find anything on the data, it's because maybe whatever. I don't think that they say this anymore.
Heikki Kultattu. Do you expect this circuit to give your car the same chance as to have a good position here also, like Melbourne did? Good result.
Well, obviously I hope it's better than Melbourne for me, but I mean, like I said, we have the speed, and I think things are running smoothly. We just have to avoid mistakes, and you know, we had some bad luck on the start, but the car's been. I think it could be even better than it was in the last race. It's a proper circuit, and I think it will be good fitting well in this circuit. So let's wait and see.
Okay.
And Giuntini from L'Equipe, question to Fernando. Do we have violence of the impact that made you such a big concussion?
No, I don't know exactly the details.
Okay. Next one, please.
I'm a bit confused by this. There's no problem. There's nothing on the data. You've lost consciousness. Some said you didn't lose consciousness at your team. Your team also said there was a... One thing from this, for me, if there's no data and the team haven't found anything, could the problem happen again?
Well, I think, you know, as I said, some of the confusion comes from the very early quotes and very early high on that moment, and the stress and you know, there were some urgency to say something, because confusion. And on the data wise, I said before, you know, I think there are some lack to miss the exact. There are some actions taken for this race. which probably are not necessary, but there are extra care with some parts on the car that were unique for me that I request because my driving style when I joined McLaren and in rack and things that they've been using with Jenson and Kevin for the last couple of years. So of course there are some actions for yeah, everything is okay.
Okay. Any more?
Sport, Fernando, could you tell us exactly what happened this morning during the don't you think that maybe you can wait a little bit more to leave and achieve some results?
Process has been the last month. As I said before, everything are completely normal. The concussion, the rehabilitation, the checks, the expectations of waiting 2 or 3 weeks before any dangerous activity again. So everything went normal. Procedure after doctors here of the Malaysian Grand Prix. So yeah, everything went as smooth as possible, and I have the green light. So that was a very positive moment. The second question, performance that we have right now is easy to criticize our team and my decision or whatever, but as I said, I'm first so happy that this is the most important. When you are happy with yourself, when you are a healthy man, and it's what I am now, because. And secondly, probably yes, but after 14 years of Formula 1 and 2 championships, a podium or
Okay. Yeah, next question, please.
Carlos Miquel, La Gaceta. A question for Fernando and for Carlos. For Fernando, I would like to know how were your feelings watching after 14 years the racing TV, and for Carlos, is for you a big motivation to beat Ayrton Senna?
I didn't pick up the best race probably to watch. One, it was very early in the morning, so it didn't help the enthusiasm about the race, and secondly, the number of cars obviously were not ideal on the grid and also after the first couple of laps. But yeah, it was a strange feeling. I miss being there. I miss.
Carlos?
Yeah. For me, the first motivation always is to extract the maximum potential from myself, focus on myself, and with the self-confidence and knowing that you can extract the full potential of your teammate. And then I believe Max is not to beat him is first of all in a good position for sure.
Okay, thank you. Next one, please.
Byron Young and Mirror again. Fernando, I'm a bit confused. How can you not be worried from what you're saying to us? The steering was locked, heading forward towards the inside wall. You're fighting with. So that's a car problem, and you're getting back in the car this weekend, and you don't know what caused that problem. How can you not be worried?
The team and component of the car. They've been simulating the efforts. They've been part that they were. They had some doubts. So I think we have the same with all the studies they did, and yeah. And after 1 month, probably I'm the most checked driver medically of history. So we should be fine, both parts.
Next one, please. Is that it? Thank you very much, gentlemen. Have a good weekend. Full transcript of the press conference available at the team representatives press conference. Thank you.
Enjoy Sky Sports